It's me, Stick Braxton, aka Clueless Vino, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that's basketball. More importantly, the NBA playoffs. Um, it's been an interesting year in the playoffs, mainly because a lot of injuries have caused a lot of the favorites to, to have to bow out early, and we're missing a lot of the great players. But what's made it great is the fact that all the young generation and the newer stars are starting to show out and have the floor to do what they do best. And we're seeing that the NBA is going to be in a great place in the next 10, 15 years. Um, but if you're like me, you're always looking ahead to next season, and you're always trying to see what teams are going to do to get better, or what they have to do to, get on the path to getting better. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give my take on what the teams that have been eliminated can do to make their teams better going forward. So without further ado, here we go. First up is the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, all they have to do is make sure that they are building around LaMelo. LaMelo is clearly the star of the team. He's going to get better. I have no doubt about that. So build around him. So shooters, athletic guys who can go get lobs. That's where you're gonna want to improve at. Maybe some defensive guys, because I think they get killed on defense. And then make sure that Michael Jordan doesn't draft the highly talented white kid in the draft, because he has a thing about him. He really gotta stop doing that. He really gotta stop doing that. San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are difficult because they're coached by Greg Popovich and they play the right way, and yet it's not clicking anymore. I think to get on the right path, they're going to have to trade DeMar DeRozan and to get back some pieces. And they're going to be on a path of a rebuild, which is weird to say for the Spurs because they're used to having dominant seasons and being in the playoffs, but 2 years in a row, 2 seasons in a row, 3 seasons in a row, you can see that the other teams are finally taking a step forward against them. I think that means that Greg Popovich probably will step down eventually. He's not really a rebuild guy, and plus, dude, he's done everything that he could possibly do in the league, and so, just. He doesn't have to. He had to be there. Let some new energy get into the organization and see what that does for the Indiana Pacers. Hire a good coach. Maybe you shouldn't have fired Nate McMillan. Dumbasses. For Golden State Warriors. So this is gonna lead into a different team, but I'll get to that in a second. But since we're here, I would say trade for Ben Simmons. The reason I'm saying that is because Ben Simmons is a player who does a lot of things well. He's really good defensively, 6'10", rebounds the ball pretty well when he's motivated, passes the ball really well. The only thing he can't do or refuses to do is score and or shoot. So he needs to be around players that can score the basketball and doesn't force him to be the second option as far as a scorer. So, you keep Stephen Clay, obviously, so that makes him automatically number 3. I think you can get away with not having to trade Wiggins and Kelly Oubre if Oubre is coming back. So one of them goes, and probably Draymond. But if you're getting Ben Simmons back, you kind of get like a good substitute back, plus you're getting younger. So with, Steph Clay, either Oubre or Wiggins, that makes Ben the 4th option automatically. So he can just focus on rebounding, passing, and scoring in transition when it calls for it. Plus it improves their defense, which is a good thing for everyone involved, especially with Steph and not knowing where Clay's going to be defensively. Wizards, they need to figure out if they're going to commit to Russ. But if they don't, it's time to blow it up. This has been too many years of dancing with the Wizards. what the Rockets did last year, the Wizards might have to do this year. If you're not going to commit to Russ, and you're gonna trade him, Bradley Beal's gonna want out. That's the honest truth, man. He's not gonna do too many more of these losing seasons. You can only kick the dude so much before he's like, yeah, I'm out. So I think Russ, figure out what you're gonna do there. Even if you do keep Russ, I don't see them getting higher than an 8 seed, maybe a 7. It's just gonna be tough. I think rebuilding is probably the best thing for them. Honestly, Grizzlies, Memphis Grizzlies have a really good nucleus. I think their next step is getting some better front court players. I like Valanciunas. I just think that in the direction that the league is going in, he's not gonna be able to continue to play high minutes. They need more like younger athletic players. Someone that can run with JaVale. Not JaVale. Wow. Ja. Where did JaVale? Oh man, I was thinking maybe like JaVale would be a good player to have off the bench. He's still not, he's not like a crazy player, but just good athletically. You know who else would be good? Willie Cauley-Stein. Willie Cauley-Stein would be a good player to have in him. Just someone that he can throw the ball to and just run with him. So I think that's gonna be the best thing for them. Maybe some more shooters too, because they can get iffy. Boston Celtics, they've already decided that they shook things up in the front office. They got rid of Kemba. They need better front court players, particularly at the 4, because I don't think Jason Tatum should be playing the 4. He really should just be playing the 3 on the wing. And yeah, I think they got rid of Kemba because I think they can get Dame. I think that's their thought process. But I don't know. I don't see Dame wanting to go there. But who am I? That could be possible. Next up is the Lakers, which is my team. I'm not from Los Angeles, but that is the team I've root for like mainly my entire life. We need to build around a 37-year-old LeBron James versus thinking that we can just build whoever around LeBron James, because he's not, like, he's aging, bro. It's fine. Like, I know people don't want to hear that, and when people mean them, I know they don't want to hear that, but it's just true. And we need to build around a team where he doesn't have to do as much so often. So the build a team package for LeBron James as you put shooters around him. We didn't have shooters. I don't know why y'all thought they were shooters. I don't understand. I don't understand some people. You can't overhype people just because he's on there, just because they're on a team with them. Yeah, you know they're not shooters. Just say they're not shooters. We need shooters, bro. Just every time I talk about it, shooters, and we need to stay healthy. That's really all it is to it. Miami Heat screwed over because they decided that Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson were more important than James Harden. I mean, that's really what this all boils down to. They're gonna need a better starting point guard. I like Dragic. I like Nunn. That's not gonna be the be all end all for them. We're gonna have to see better improvement from Tyler Hero. He regressed horribly this season. I think he benefited from the bubble a lot, and he regressed badly. Bam didn't do as well this year either, so he's got to improve. He got and they need another star. That's really all there's to it. They need another star. Jimmy's got the veteran leadership part down, but they need somebody who's an explosive scorer. Jimmy's he's not an explosive scorer. He's a timely scorer, not explosive. So they need somebody who's gonna be able to go get them a bucket, like at any point in the game. Is the Trailblazers? The Trailblazers, if the goal is to keep Dame, they might have to break up the tandem with CJ. I love CJ. CJ is a walking bucket. Loves the mid range, so I'm a big fan of that. But I just think that the time has passed, man, and they need to get somebody who can help Dame defensively, because they both can't deal with the bigger guards in the league all the time. Like, they do their best, but it's just maybe a better coach with better scheming could help that. But it's just probably best if they just try to find a better option or a different option. I won't say better, and get rid of Enes Kanter, because he can't guard a chair. Next up, we have the New York Knicks. New York Knicks just need to calm down and don't do anything stupid. This is what you do all the time. You taste a little bit of success and then you go overboard. Just assess the situation that happens with the draft and the free agents, and don't do anything stupid. If you can get Zion Williamson, he seems to want to come there anyway. He keeps talking about New York and RJ Barrett. If you can pull it off without getting crazy, pull it off. I think you should respect Julius Randle more than that. He just got y'all, I know he struggled in the playoffs, but, this is what happens when you get your first playoffs. If the game is different, it's half court, slow down, more physical, and I don't know if he was ready for that this year. But with time, I'm sure he'll be right back in the gym, grinding and getting better. So, Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks need to get rid of Kristaps Porzingis. Sorry, bro. Kristaps Porzingis thinks he's still in New York, and he still thinks he is the player he was before he got hurt. And that player was really good. He was averaging a high number of 20 points, 25 points maybe, good rebounds, a lot of blocks. But he has not been that player in Dallas, and he clearly wants to be the guy and doesn't enjoy sharing it with Luka. I think he thought, remember when Ricky Davis thought LeBron was going to help him become a better player? And like help him, be like the side player? That's what he thought Luka was going to be, and that's just not true, bro. Luka is the guy. You need to build around him, and if Kristaps not on board with that, he got to go. I'm sure you can get some pieces. You know who would definitely take a piece like that? You know where he should be? He should be somewhere like Memphis. Memphis or Charlotte would be a good place for Kristaps Porzingis. The Denver Nuggets. They got hurt, bro. Denver Nuggets need to just get healthy. I feel like someone gets hurt or something happens in the playoffs and they get screwed every year, because they're always a good team, but you just got swept. So something has to give. You can blame it on Jamal Murray not being there. I feel like if he was there, y'all might have gotten one game. I keep saying you need a better two. They need a really good two guard. I like Will Barton, but off the bench, that's his punch. They need a better two guard, man. With a better two guard, I feel like they would finally get over the hump. The Brooklyn Nets, find somebody with sensu beans so that they're always healthy. Nah, that's not it. Honestly, they're bad defensively. One of the things that they needed this year was coaching experience. Steve Nash got it. He didn't adjust well. He stayed with Joe Harris for some odd reason, and he gained coaching experience, so that's going to help them next year. Maybe add somebody, an assistant coach who has more playoff experience to help you. That's not D'Antoni. Get better defensively. I mean, they can't guard anybody, bro. They don't try to, at least. It's just they think they're gonna outscore people, and that's not always gonna be the case, especially not in playoff basketball. 76ers need to trade Ben Simmons. Trade Ben Simmons, see if you can get Kyle Lowry. At least you have a point guard who can actually score. You got good shooters. You got good players. You play good defense you got good players that play defense. I don't know about the playoffs. I don't know what the heck happened to y'all with Atlanta. That was ugly. That was bad. That you should be ashamed of yourself. Finally, the Utah Jazz. I don't really care about the Utah Jazz. perfectly honest with you. But I'll help you anyway. I think the Utah Jazz could do well with figuring out a better scheme for Rudy Gobert in the playoffs. Or Rudy Gobert can get better foot speed. I mean, you can work on it for days. Sometimes you just don't have it. But they need to figure out how to avoid him getting put on an island in the playoffs. Because they're going to let him rock in the regular season. You got to understand that playoffs, people aren't applying playoff strategies in the regular season all the time. They might do it a game or two just to test it out, but they're not doing it in the regular season. So that's why we've seen teams like the Jazz have really good regular seasons, and then when they get to the playoffs, something goes wrong, and they get maybe not exposed, but they get exposed because they teams were going at like 50. Playoffs are always at 100, and so find a way to scheme around him not getting put on island, even if it's something like a shadow double. Somebody coming from the weak side on the back side and doubling. But yeah, you can't be defensive player of the year and getting killed like that. So that is all the things I would do, or I would suggest to the eliminated teams in the playoffs. Shout out to the Suns, the Bucks, the Clippers, and the Hawks. Wow, the Hawks. Shout out to Nathan Miller, man, for being in the playoffs, man. That's big time for you. Big time for you guys. One of you is going to get a championship either for the first time or for in a long time. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. What would you do for some of the teams that have been eliminated? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, comment. Let me know if I'm nuts. I'm sure some of you are offended by what I've said about your team, but I don't really care. Anyway, peace out. Don't forget to drink up.